People ask me, how do I keep people in my prayer group? It's one thing to recruit people. It's another thing to keep them coming back. It's the same issue that we have in Awakening Prayer Hubs at large. How do we keep people? Now, not everybody's meant to be with us. Not everybody's meant to be in your prayer group. Some people, you're probably glad they'll leave. There are some troublemakers out there. So how do you keep them coming back? Look, this is not a lot of hard work. Most of your, we call them retention efforts. Most of these can be done in your meeting time. It's not extra time you have to spend. Please don't see it that way. You might spend an extra 5 minutes a week. If you're super charismatic, you're super, what do they call that, sanguine, you really love to be around people, you might spend more time on that. But most of this can be done during your prayer meetings. So how do you keep them coming back? In the business world, I have 3 businesses. They say that it's as easier to keep a returning customer than it is to find a new customer. It is easier to keep your current intercessors than it is to find new intercessors. So we want to keep the ones we have. So I'm going to give you quickly, this one won't be as long, 10 ways to keep your people in your prayer group. The first thing you need to do is, guys, you need to show appreciation. If people do not feel appreciated, and I know they should be doing it as unto the Lord. I know that their motive should be to change the city with prayer. I know. But the reality is, people are people, and we need to be appreciative. And what we give God thanks for, many times He'll give us more of. So this is both a recruiting and a stewardship and a retention issue. Say thank you. Tell them how glad you are they showed up, how much you appreciate it, right? Then at the end, tell them how much you thank them for being part of it, how much their impact is, right? So show them that you're appreciative. You get more of what you appreciate most of the time. The second thing is, number 2, encourage them and build them up, right? If they prayed fire, say, wow, that was powerful. If they're feeling weary, like maybe their prayers aren't working, or maybe they don't feel like they pray well, they're nervous to pray. No, you can do this. You pray really well. You pray better than you think. Don't let the enemy tell you that. God is using you. Encourage them. Don't you like to be encouraged? Amen. Some people are very nervous about praying. Some people get warfare against their mind because, they don't know how to fight the good fight of faith. Maybe they're newer in the Lord, or they never had warfare before. You've got to encourage them. You've got to build them up. Number 3, you want to share the vision of Awakening Prayer Hubs and share the vision of your prayer hub, the needs of your city, what you're seeing that needs prayer. So make sure you tell them, look, I'm connected to this vision that's larger than all of us. Awakening Prayer Hubs. Jennifer LeClaire is running this, and God inspired her to do it. And our vision is awakening and revival in cities, to see souls saved, to see bodies healed. And this movement is endorsed by Cindy Jacobs and Lou Engle and James Gall, and all these generals of the faith have bought into this vision, and we're excited about it. We want to see awakening. So share the vision. You can do that in 45 seconds at the beginning of your prayer broadcast. 45 seconds. Just tell them, hey, we're excited about this. The movement is growing. We're share the vision, cast the vision. And here's the thing about vision. Listen, vision is not sticky. You have to keep casting it. So it's not good enough that you cast it one time. Every week, keep sharing the vision. And listen, and when you come in to share the vision, sound excited. Be like, yeah, well, this is Awakening Prayer Hubs, and it's been so hard to find intercessors. I'll tell you what, I thought, I thought for a while, this is worth it. I believe in awakening, but this is just too hard. No, be excited, right? Be excited, be happy about it. This is a privilege. This is an honor to pray, to serve the Lord in this way. This is a privilege. This is an honor. Amen? Anna the prophetess, what an honor. Number 4, give the rising stars. I say rising stars just because it's a Facebook term. The ones in our Facebook groups that comment a lot, they're called rising stars. Give the rising stars a chance to lead a meeting. Help, or at least maybe start out, have them help you organize the prayer points. Hey, you know what? If you have some time this week, I'd like you to pray and see what you believe is on God's heart for our prayer points for this meeting. Can you put together some prayer points? I'll put some together too. You put together some, and we'll pray through these together. Maybe they're not ready to lead a prayer meeting, but maybe they're ready to put together some prayer points, or maybe they're ready to help you start sharing some banners. Here's the thing. When you find people with leadership potential, you've got to give them some responsibility and authority. Now, if you give them responsibility, but you don't give them any authority, then they're not going to feel empowered. So when you find people that are, really good at praying about a certain topic, for example, and maybe this week we're praying about gun violence, and this person has a passion for, against gun violence, maybe you let them lead the meeting that week because that's their passion. Of course, that requires you getting to know them a little bit. But when you hear people pray, it tells you a lot about them. I said, when you hear people pray, it tells you a lot about them. You can tell what they're most passionate about when they pray. So involve them, give them a little bit of delegated authority. Let them begin to rise up in the group. You don't want to control things. You want to expand things. We don't expand by controlling. We expand by empowering. You understand? And you're all leaders, and I've empowered you, right? So you've got to start doing that with them. And it's not, yes, ultimately, we do want to raise up Timothy. Somebody really criticized us this week and said, seems like all you want is for all the prayer hub leaders to raise up other prayer hub leaders. Actually, what we want is for our leaders to be healthy and strong. We want our prayer groups to be full, so full and overflowing that we have to split them in part, that we have to multiply them, that we can cover more of the city's issues, because instead of having one prayer hub in a group in a city, we have 10 prayer hubs in a city because we have such effective leaders that we've trained and poured our lives into, that we've taught how to lead prayer meetings, that we've taught how to recruit, that we've taught how to care for their intercessors, that there's so many that they've got to raise up a Timothy. Remember, Paul told Timothy, teach these things I've taught you to other men who are able to teach others. In other words, replicate replicators who are able to replicate replicators. So our focus is not on multiplying for the sake of multiplying. Dutch Sheets this week just said that there's never been a more important time in history to pray. And I don't think it's going to let up. I believe that it's going to get more and more important as we go on. And we don't just need one prayer hub in a city, most cities. We need 10, 15. So we can have 10 or 15 prayer meetings a month instead of one. Amen? So empower these people. You keep people by empowering them. If you control everything, never let anybody have an opportunity to lead, they're going to feel like you don't trust them. You don't want that. That's not the culture you want. We have a culture of honor, culture of trust. Now, they've got to earn the trust, right? They've got to earn the trust. You got to get to know who these are. You can't just let somebody come in just because they pray good doesn't mean they can lead a meeting, right? We got to just get to know people by the Spirit, right? Number 5, seek their input and ideas. Seek the input and ideas of the people that are in your group. Hey, what do you think we should pray for next week? What's the Lord saying to you? Hey, how do you think we can get more intercessors here? Hey, what is God saying is a big one. Ask them for the ideas. Hey, how can we do better? How can we be more effective? Should we have more than one prayer meeting a month? What do you guys think? Are you up for it? So seek their input and seek their ideas, and you'll go a lot further. Number 6, consider doing a short, and then it's not for everybody, but maybe it's for you. Consider doing a short prayer teaching, just even 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the beginning of your meeting, if you're comfortable with that. Then they're being equipped. Then they're being equipped how you want them equipped, right? Then they're being equipped, and it builds their faith before the prayer meeting. We don't do this anymore, but we used to have a 15-minute prayer teaching before every prayer meeting, just to get everybody built up. But we figured after a while we stopped because everybody was showing up 30 minutes into the prayer meeting, so nobody was there. I used to do it just to get people to get experience in teaching. Was my we had 2 goals. One was to build the faith of people, to equip them, and one was to get people ready to teach, because I believe in raising up teachers. So maybe consider doing a short prayer teaching. That's good. Number 7, report any breakthroughs that you've had that in regards to prayer, and ask them to share their breakthroughs that they're seeing. Maybe you prayed against abortion and an abortion clinic shut down. So, or maybe they're having a breakthrough in their personal life. The power testimony is cohesive. We want to share each other's victories and successes, not just in the prayer hubs, but in our lives. Listen, we are sharing our lives, guys. That's what we're doing. We're a family. And each one of your little prayer hubs is like a little mini family. Okay. Number 8, speaking of which, take a personal interest in them. Take a personal interest in them. If they need prayer, pray for them, right? Maybe you have a prayer hub leader and a prayer hub member, and they've been coming to you for a while, and they're strong, but they're having a bad week, and they text you or they Facebook message you and say, I'm dealing with some really big warfare. My husband just lost his job, and our landlord's saying the lease is up in 3 months and we don't know what we're going to do. Show that you care, right? This is just a Christian thing to do. Some of you prayer leaders, you send in emails asking certain things. It might take me a few days to get back to you, but I'm going to get back to you. Sometimes I can get back to you instantly. Depends on what's going on. And many of you, what you don't know is even if you do message me and I don't answer you right away, I'm already praying. I don't want you to know that. I'm already praying. I don't necessarily have time to give you a long response in the moment, but I'm already praying. Promise you that. I'm already praying. Now, number 9, reiterate. This is one thing you can do. You don't do this every week, but maybe there's times, especially if you feel like you've been hitting a lot of resistance, reiterate the benefits of prayer. Remind people what is going on in the spirit, right? God hears and answers prayer. God is going to change things. We got to keep chipping away at it, right? Things don't always change overnight. Remind them so they don't get weary. Because a lot of people quit prayer groups because they don't think they're making a difference. That's why the testimonies are good, the breakthroughs are good. Reiterate the benefits of prayer. And number 10, if you can, many of you have Awakening Prayers Facebook groups. If people are posting in there, like their comments, say amen. Let them know that you are reading what they're writing so they don't feel like they're wasting their time. Communicate between the meetings if you can. I don't mean like getting on the phone. I know everybody's too busy for that, or some people aren't. But communicate between the meetings if you can. Be willing to, like I said, if they send you a Facebook message, hey, pray for me, I'm praying. And then pray. You don't have to pray 15 years. Quick prayers are powerful. You can pray a minute and it can be powerful. Don't let leadership overwhelm you. The enemy, he's called you to be a leader. And I believe in you. I may believe in some of you more than you believe in you. I know you can do this. I know that you are called to lead prayer warriors and to mobilize intercessors. And there are great eternal rewards in doing so. Amen.
Hey guys, I have good news about our prayer movement. Awakening Prayer Hubs. Well, we've made it a little easier for you to gather. We know that not all of you can gather in a church or even in a home. We've got prison prayer hubs as well, but not all of you are in prison ministry. And so we have now made a way. We call them ehubs. Those of you who want to have groups on Facebook to gather intercessors and pray, those of you who want to pray on the phone or by some other digital means, maybe it's a WhatsApp group, maybe it's some other digital platform that you all like to use. We still want to facilitate that. We still want to cover that. We still want to help you gather and mobilize and train prayer warriors, intercessors, watchmen, you name it. We're here for you. I want you to go to awakeningprayerhubs.com and find out more about our ehubs. There's a lot of videos there that you can watch about the prayer movement, questions and answers that many people have about prayer and how to host a prayer meeting. All of that's there for you anytime you want, but we want to connect with you at a deeper level. We want to be able to go with you where neither one of us have gone before in the prayer movement and really begin to break down the barriers of buildings and walls and go digital. Awakening Prayer Hubs, the e-hubs are there for you. Go check it out. Let us know if you have questions. My heartbeat is to facilitate prayer and a prophetic life in the nations of the earth. And let's face it, can't have a prophetic life without prayer. AwakeningPrayerHubs.com. I'll see you there.